Hey y'all. Why did I hit the button? I heard God say go live, and then I hit the button and I'm like, wait, I'm still in the middle of prayer. So y'all give me like 5 seconds. I had to finish praying. Sorry. I'm like, wait, I was in the middle of prayer before I hit the button. Okay, so we're gonna look at full moon energy today, you guys, which is gonna be great. We're gonna do a full moon prayer energy. But in the meantime, I want to try this. I received this, so I want to see how it works. Because, you know, my eyebrows have been a source of pride my entire life. And now they're starting to get gray hairs, y'all. Hey, Angela. Let me know if you have a question, girl, before we get started. How are you? I don't have nails, so I'm trying to open this. That's a no. How are you? How are you? How are you? I don't have nails. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty. Y'all, this is very pretty. At least it's pretty. I like the bottle. Hey, Iram. Hey, Sherry. I'm just waiting for you guys to come in a little bit, and then we're gonna get started on doing the full moon energy read. Oh, who should we do it for today? I like how we did the what was the moon, other moon? Not half moon. The new moon. When we did new moon in Scorpio, I like how we did that we chose to do specifically just us, you know, us spiritual people, especially those who have been activated within the last year. Okay, so just really quickly. So like I said, I'm 46. I'm getting a little up there. So I saw a gray hair. Okay, I lied. I saw 3 gray hairs this week in my eyebrow. And if you notice, they're like getting thinner. These are my natural eyebrows, y'all. They are naturally arched this way. Let me not lie. I had a really bad waxing experience. And the lady waxed my eyebrows too thin. And fortunately, they grew back some. But my eyebrows have been like this since 2009. So I don't even have to do anything. All right, apply over brows in your desired shape. I think I'm gonna stick to my shape. How do they say? Cousins, not sisters. And that's okay, because I don't get along with my sister. And I don't look nothing like her. So, let's see. Are you supposed to gloop it off? Or, okay. So, I'm trying this real quick before we get into the reading. Because it said leave it on for 2 hours. I might look stupid, because then they're going to be too dark. Oh, I want to do them live. Oh my God, I can't. I can't even. No, I can't. I'll do it after, because I gotta be in the mirror for real. Like, I just realized I can't even find my eyebrow looking at you guys in the camera. No, I can't do that. So I mean, you could just clean it off, you know, but I didn't even bring anything to clean up with, because I was just gonna follow my natural shape and leave it at that. Though this one could use a little more of an arch thing, but I was just gonna follow that. Anyway, so let's get into this full moon in Gemini. Full moon in Gemini. Okay. Hello, sign. And so that means that it is opposite of Sagittarius or something like that. No, it's opposite the sun. It's weird. I forgot how it goes. Who knows? I forgot how it goes. Anyway, the other thing about it is this is supposed to be a manifesting moon tonight. I think the full moon is at 7 something. I'm going to stop by the Dollar Tree later. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. So I think this is going to be a significant full moon. I've never been much of a moon person. But I think also if you are in your cycle or starting your cycle today, it's an especially powerful moon for you as we move into a new era. Hey, Chris. Hey, Michael. As we move into a new, right? Yeah, Sagittarius is my opposite. I dated a Sagittarius once. Definitely my opposite. I think I broke his heart. He wanted marriage. I did not. I had a dream that he was going to propose to me. And I was so disgusted. And that's when I went, okay, I guess I don't like you like that. Yes, I'm going to put my crystals out tonight. Yes. Wow, they just told the story of my Sagittarius romance. And what's really funny is it's a friend's older brother. He wasn't that much older than me. He was like a year or so older than me. And I was like a year older than her. But anyway, when I was 13 and I first saw him, I used to do the twilight. What do you call it? Yeah, I'm going to set mine outside. Or I guess in a window pane could work too. I was listening to, I forgot his name, on YouTube. And he talks about creating moon water and how moon water is good for bathing things. You know, so I'm not a very ritualistic person, but I am one who is very deeply aware how much the natural does affect us. So I am going to give that a shot. So I don't think I'm going to do a reading tonight so that my pendulums can get cleansed in this. So Nyx could use a bath. Like my little black cat Twilight. Nyx can use a bath. And all my trees, all my crystal trees are going to go take a bath. And then I'm going to go get a vial from Dollar Tree. Make sure it has a cork. And because you want to keep it covered. And I'm going to get a vial from Dollar Tree, because they have some really pretty little vials, and basically create some moon water. But you have to get it before the sun comes up. You have to take them out before the sun comes up. And depending on where you are, who knows what time that sun comes up. I know for me, it's like 6 or 5:30. Hey. All right, let's get some full moon stuff going. But what was this one in particular? Full moon in Gemini 2025. Okay, this moon is going to bring some insights. Y'all, I am a Gemini, like the commander-in-chief. I'm a Gemini. So I know he's catching hell. So is Pentagon Pete. We Geminis have been catching hell. Oh, Michelle. Hi. I mean, I'm also a Libra rising, who has also been catching hell, by the way. And I'm a Virgo moon. So this is fun. So the full moon is occurring tonight at 6:14. It's called the cold moon. Oh, that's what people are talking about, cold moon. Okay, so it's called the cold moon. It is the final super moon because, duh, it's December. So it's going to be brighter and closer than usual. It marks the final chapter of 2025's supermoon trilogy and brings a focus on communication, truth, and emotional clarity. I love that because communication and truth and emotional clarity is what we need. Completely. And plus it's Gemini, so duh. Significance. Let's see. Astrological themes. Gemini energy emphasizes communication and exchange of ideas, while the opposition to the sun in Sagittarius brings the access of words and wisdom to the forefront. Oh, yes, y'all. I put up my December reading on my YouTube page. I put it up. I'm going to try to chop it up and clean it up so that I can put it on my Lean Into the Spirit TikTok. Oh, girl, it ain't finished. I'm trying not to let y'all see that I ain't finished. But thank you. So I'm going to put that up. I know I'm late in putting it up, but you know, it was traveling. It was Thanksgiving. But we did do it on the 26th or 7th of November. But December is promising to be exactly what this moon is talking about, which is some serious confrontation energy, honestly, because the truth itself is confrontational, especially to a circus show that has been nothing near the truth. So this is going to be fun for us in America. Okay? It's going to be fun for us. It says, so it also brings heightened communication. So expect a boost in emotional expression and a desire to share thoughts or insights, as we are seeing through the Washington Post. And what's the other one? Gosh, it's a money one. What's the money one? Washington Post is Bezos. And then the other one is Murdoch. Wall Street Journal. Hey, Teresa, girl. I'm only on for like 50 more minutes because I have a call at 2, but I'll be right back on after the call. I'm just trying to warm up. So let's see. Clarity and emotional resolution. So this supermoon completes the arc of the year's supermoon trilogy, potentially bringing emotional, mental, and spiritual matters to a head. All right, so anything y'all have been ducking all year, we're going to see this month, okay? We will see it this month. And you probably already see that, right? Focus on truth and perception. The energy of this full moon encourages you to see the impact of your own stories. Ooh, that is so juicy and a little convicting. So it's encouraging you to see the impact of your own stories. I love the way that is written and the narratives that shape your reality. Gemini is a storyteller. So y'all, you either going to tell the truth or you're going to tell a lie. Or you're going to continue telling a lie. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of people like, I don't have time. Baby, all you have is time. Okay, so a moment for connection. You may feel a strong pull to have long conversations with loved ones or your social group to gain deeper understanding. And that's what we about to do. Ooh, who are we doing? I guess I already know. All right, let's go. Light seers. I'm being asked to grow the up and stop using the training wheels. I love the training wheels, though. Interesting. I love the training wheels. Okay, y'all. Let's go. Wow. Okay. Ooh, I'm already getting goosebumps. I hope y'all are getting them too. Let's talk about this full moon energy. Now, like I said, we already did December. And December, the 5 weeks of December is already up on my YouTube. I'm going to pull them into my Lead Into the Spirit TikTok. I have to grow that one. I've graduated. No, I'm not graduating. But oop, that's funny. What is this? Judgment. Hey, Dawn. Look at this judgment card. I'm like, no, I'm not graduating. I'm supposed to be ascending. I'm supposed to be letting myself be free. I'm holding on to it. So yeah. I got judged just a little bit. Like, grow the F up, girl. Hey, boo. All right, so let's do some full moon energy. Full moon energy. Should I do my normal spread? I feel like yes. And I say normal as if I hadn't just started doing it last week. But it feels like yes. I want to do that same energy spread. This is interesting. So we're getting a message right off the top. Okay, so we're being asked, and I think this is still for us spiritual people. I think whenever I do my readings, let's just understand that's who I'm talking about. People who have been activated spiritually in the last year or so, people who have been running from their spiritual gifts or think that they're demonic or have been told that they're demonic. People who are sitting in, hey, Suze, in confusion, willing confusion, by the way, because clarity is a choice. Amen. All right, so this is for us, those of us who, I don't like to say I'm in the 4 a.m. club. I don't, because I'm not in a club. I wasn't asleep. I was awake and awakened. So let's just say the awakened, because that's what, girl, it ain't done. It ain't done. Let's just say the awakened. Let's put it that way. The awakened and the awakening. That's who my readings are for. My collective readings are for. The awakened and the awakening. All right, so let's get to it. It definitely ain't done, child. Okay. So let me tell you about this message. Now, I could be completely off kilter here about what the card actually means. See, I need your positivity. Thank you for rewriting that story, Suze. Yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Even if I do one braid a day, I'm going to get there. All right. So what I got immediately here is that you are asked to do some reflection. And so you have homework right off the top. Your homework, see, okay, you were also awake. So there are people who were awakened, and then there were people who were already awakened, you know, and have been growing in their awakening. So this is saying the immediate response I got with this is that we haven't been paying attention to the seeds that we've been planting the entire time. Like we have been, oh gosh, okay, goosebumps up the wazoo already. So I'm going to say this is our theme. And honestly, I think this is our significator, because a lot of us have not paid attention to how far we have come in this last year of this life's journey's travel, right? So if you look at this, there's all these different pentacles in the ground. Like we're still carrying some in our backs because we're still becoming who we are. Like we don't fully know that yet, right? It's on our back. So just like butterfly wings, we don't know what they look like, right? But if we turn around and look down, and it's okay to look backwards. In fact, that's how I train people when we are rewriting their story, is we have to look at your story and actually reframe it from shame to strength, right? So you need to take a look back over this last year. Do not focus on all the things that have gone wrong. Focus on all the things that you have done. And I won't even say right. I will say that you can now see as part of your purpose, right? That you can now see as part of intentional path. Because there is a pathway being created here on this card. Whether some are a little bit as outliers, which is fine. Because guess what that is? That's discovery. That's experimentation. That is trying, taking risks, right? So that's what this is supposed to be about, is that this card is reminding you that you have laid some seeds this year. You have laid some seeds, and you have become a person who has become less burdened by those seeds that you've laid, because you're not hunched over with them. You're actually straightening as you walk, as you lay more seeds. And you don't realize who you've touched, who you've impacted, and who you've become in this last year. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm big about turning shame into strength. All right. So I want you to look at it in the upright. You see here, this is a person of compassion. This is a purpose of empathy. And this is a person of driven ambition. But that driven ambition is not the frantic type of ambition. It's not the type A, step on people, railroad over people type of ambition. It is the kind of ambition that is being more mindful, right? If you notice, he is looking left and right. He's not looking down at the ground. This is where we need to be. We need to be looking at ourselves more mindfully. What seeds have we planted? What path have we been creating? because all these seeds inhabit our spirit. All of them are for purpose. There is nothing that we have in our past that is wasted. Everything is something to learn from or something to build from. Everything has given you something of value, even the pain. We talked about this before. Not that there is purpose in the pain, but that you get to use the pain for purpose. Okay? So it's not like, oh, why did God let this happen? Man has free will. Things do happen. But one thing that I noticed that God does, or whatever word you want to use, one thing that I noticed about God is that, and it's different from man, God will use that pain for purpose. He will use that pain to either allow you to be someone who can help someone else through it, to navigate it, to be their light in it, even when you didn't have one. Think of how many people became teachers or nurses or doctors or lawyers because they had to navigate darkness, right? Alone, or watch other people navigate that. So it's a pain used for purpose, not that there was purposeful pain. You know what I mean? Like, you have to use it. Thank you so much. Oh, and it was your first gift. Thank you, girl. So this is what we do. A lot of us are so wrapped up in our shame, in our pain, in our hurts, that we don't even recognize the light. We don't even recognize the blooming of our values. We don't have to become monsters. We get to become mentors. We get to become mavens. Some of us have become very, very wise. There we go. Thank you, Candy. It's mentors, mavens, and there was another one I can't even think of. It was just there, but and you know, I love alliteration. But this is the thing, is while we're so busy wrapped up in our struggle and focusing on our losses, if we look up, we'll see that everything's not dark. In fact, there's light. In fact, there's still purpose. In fact, there's still value. In fact, there's something still waiting to bloom and to blossom. You know, and what's really interesting is that these two cards that are giving us the theme of what we're reading about for the new moon, they're both pentacles. They're both about your values. They're both also about your finances. And I know for some people, especially myself, finances have been so freaking tight. So tight. So tight. Like, just so tight, right? But I want you to understand that's because, and this is the word I'm receiving, that is because you have been looking at things in a way that is now requiring a perspective shift. You got to look up. You got to look around. You got to find the light, because the light is literally the illumination of your path of purpose. And I know problems feel so big, like Alice in Wonderland big. But when you stand up, they're actually not. So let's dive into this reading for the full moon. What are we supposed to be doing to prepare ourselves for this next phase of our lives? Especially as we go into 2026, which we have already known. Ooh-wee! It's good energy, babies. It's good energy. We've already known. We've already known that, I mean, this year kicked off, this decade kicked off real hard, right? It kicked off with the pandemic. And it has not let up. All right. So here's the thing. The sun. What do we need to do was the question I was asking. What do we need to do to prepare ourselves for this next phase of our life? We need to release the need to hold on to everything. We need to release the need to control everything. We need to release the fear of our giftings and of how big they get to be. We need to release the shadows and let them find the light. Two different people. 2 different people. She gets to be 2 different people, but this is like almost literally the same person. She's wearing the same shirt, you know? And so what we need to do to prepare for this next phase of our life is to let go. What we need to do for the next phase of our life is to trust. What we need to do for this next phase of our life is to expect success. Expect the blessings. Expect abundance. And lean into the spirit, man. Like, just release. And that is such a big, big message. And it's the first one to come out, right? And if you notice, it's a lotus flower, by the way. It's an open lotus flower or daisy or what have you. But it's an open flower within. Because again, we're in this blooming time from the seeds we've already planted. Listen, y'all, this is ridiculously delicious already. Okay, and so the next card that came out, it feels like it's going to be the opposite to it, right? One more thing. This is a yes card. So this is saying yes to life. Okay? No more lack mentality. Let it go. Let it go. All right? And if you notice, there's the night sky around it, kind of. And so the sun is chasing away the night. And it just relates to the video that I posted on my profile that says, endings are just beginnings. The way to use your deck is to trust your intuition. Like, you look at it and you literally go, what story am I hearing? Well, at least I'm a storyteller reader. So you're going to have to learn your way. But I'm a storyteller reader. And one of the first readings I've done, though, is I pulled the cards by intuition. And then I attempted to read them myself, right? I was looking at the pictures. And then, you know, with the training wheels, they do give us some words. And I was going by which words jumped up or jumped out. And then I constructed what I was reading out of it. And that's why it's really important. Like, the first thing that I did, let me see if I can find it. Because, you know, when you have a travel room and it stays a mess for a little bit after you traveled. I think my book is in here. Or I took it out already. Ooh. So, okay. What I was telling you to do, and I'll put it in my shopping cart in a second so that you can see it anyway. Oh, no, I have it. Okay. Is this the wrong book? I don't think I put my other book. All right. But one of the things I did was that I started doing a tarot journal so that I can practice my readings first, right? Yeah, these are the fancy ones we're using. These are the light seers. So I started doing a tarot journal. So I write down my own interpretations, and then you know what helped me afterwards? After I did that, I then went to ChatGPT. And the way I did ChatGPT was, and I guess I can share with you the prompt if you want me to, but I make things up as I go, you know, because I'm certified in AI. I was trying to see if I can find the one that I use actually. But this is my second book. I don't know what I did with that thing. Oh my goodness. Was not prepared. But let me put it in here real quick. The one that I'm talking about, I'm going to show you which one I'm talking about. So the book that I use as my journal, and I really love it. First of all, it's very fancy. And it's this tarot journal, the Wiser Tarot Journal, which I'm putting in there so that you guys can see it. And it gives you a spread. It helps you. It gives you stickers, so you can put the stickers in your spread. And it allowed you to, you know, just really practice. You have to write down your own interpretation. You have to write down like the question and how it went. And then I went to ChatGPT. And when I went to ChatGPT, that is where I, when I went to ChatGPT, that's when I went through my reading and I realized I actually read it pretty good. But the thing with it is, and you want to be careful about this if you are pressed for time, is that time expands, because one of the things that I do when I'm reading people, or when I'm reading myself, like even with the use of ChatGPT, is I keep shuffling the entire time. So while I'm reading something, a card may jump out that will expand what I just read, you know. So and that's just how it goes. It expands what I read. So the journal I'm talking about is this one. I really, really, really like that journal. And I'm actually going to get back into using it daily, because that's a 75 hard that I'm going to do, is daily practicing, since I'm going to go ahead and lean into my own spirituality and make this part of my business. Okay. So, and y'all, the cards that we're using right now, these beautiful Light Seers cards, they're in my shopping cart as well. As is the stand that I'm using. Everything I'm using, I put in there. Okay. So anyway, that's how I started reading. I was basically checking my answers with ChatGPT, and I realized, hey, I think I know what I'm doing. And so I started trusting myself more. Now, one of the things you want to do is not necessarily look at other people, like, unless you're trying to learn how to read like a card reader. But I think if you already have intuition, I don't think you need to do what these people do. That's me. I don't think so. You've used Doreen's Healing with Angels for a long time. I haven't used those yet. Sorry. Yes, I love the basic deck. But even the pictures on the basic deck, you know, they're Rider-Waite pictures. So even those, sometimes I go by those and not actually even the words on there. But this is like when you start to learn to, you know, trust yourself more with your intuition, and know that you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just you're hearing the story the way that you're hearing it. Libby, the one that I've told you about, like, that really helped me, because she's a storyteller. So she's like, I know what the card means, but that's not how my guides just gave it to me. And she's been reading cards. You know, she was raised on cards, basically, because her mom was a reader. So she had support and everything. So just watching her be very confident in, okay, I know the Three of Swords always means something bad, but like, let's say the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, you know, on the card, like the talk about it is that it's successful, but she looks at it as a false victory, because she's like, if you look at it, the people have their backs turned to the guy. So it's more like, you know, pompous noble going through a crowd that doesn't like him. Let's say fancy pants, right? So you just go by what intuitively jumps up. Like I said, when I read this, you know, I know this is about something a little bit different than what I picked up, but when I got the goosebumps to back it up, I'm like, well, I just got to trust my goosebumps at that point. Who cares what the card actually means? Goosebumps are telling me, you're right, keep going, keep going, keep going. So, and I don't think I'm off with the cards. I don't have them memorized, and I kind of refuse to memorize them. I just try to know some of the basics, like what a cup usually is, what a pentacle usually represents, like those type of things. Like, you know, pentacles representing money or values or health, or sometimes if you're doing an election reading, for instance, it would be votes. So that's how I read it, if that makes sense. But it's really okay. So yeah, so I didn't want to look in the book. So a Knight of Pentacles is really about reliability, practicality, discipline, hard work, and perseverance. But that's not how I got it. I got it like, you've already done the work. You're just not paying attention to it. And in the reverse, this is laziness, procrastination, lack of progress, lack of ambition, stagnation. And that's not how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it as, you're a person who needs to stop, reflect, and look at what you've done. You've planted seeds of purpose. Go back and look at those things. look at how you've grown over this year. You get what I'm saying? So that's the book I use to practice for myself, my own readings. It's so simple when you trust yourself. That's the hard part. Trust yourself. All right. So, like I said, the thing that we need to do, we got the Sun, but we also got the Hermit. And I love the Hermit in this deck because this Hermit is about inner light as opposed to necessarily holding a lamp, but it's more about inner light. And so again, this kind of goes with what I was just saying about the fact that we're not really paying attention to our own growth, to who we have been. I know, like for myself, I have been incredibly distracted by the things that are going on outside of me, that it does help you stay in a place of stuckness or I was going to say obscurity, but I guess that could work too. But confusion, right? Yes, exactly. That's what that card is. Abundance, harmony. Yes. New opportunities, renewal, material wealth, financial security, passion, and risk taking. Yeah, that's the Knight of Swords. No, Knight of Wands. Let me remember. I don't know. Girl, see, that's why I don't memorize them. I don't remember them. I do go by, that's why I like my training wheels, but I'm trying to, oh, the draw you just did. Fantastic. Okay. So again, with the light seers, this should be about inner reflection and meditation. I'm reading this as the shadow of it is that you're not doing it. Some of you, like, I know some of us may have been like feeling a sense of isolation or feeling a sense of loneliness, or feeling like a misfit, not even healing. Good. So that's the thing is, again, that's a choice. I'm really feeling very, very strongly that this is a choice that we're making. We're making the choice to stay in the place that feels acceptable. And struggle feels very acceptable. It just does. And sometimes it is a fear of leaving people behind or fear of being seen as different. But guess what? Shit, that's what you were made for. You were made to grow up and leave the nest. You were made to be a different type of person. And when you have spiritual gifts, for instance, you need to find community. But everyone in a community is not exactly your community either. That was something else I had to learn this year. That's another thing that I had to own also this year. It's like my spirituality is my spirituality and it looks the way that it does. And it's not like everyone else's. And I can't judge other people for theirs. And I can't be jealous of how great other people are. You know, my gifts are my gifts. Their gifts are their gifts, right? So for instance, I studied mediumship this year from April to July with someone who was very good at it. You know, she was just really good at it. She could, for 45 minutes straight, tell you about all the people around you, right? Whereas while I'm taking it, I'm like, I'm not sure. What is this? Mind you, it's like my first time in a structured thing, even though I've been doing mediumship my whole life. I just didn't know it. But it was like, what am I seeing? So one of the things that I've planted this year is having to trust myself. So I'm learning to trust. It's a long path, right? But I'm learning to trust my intuition. I'm learning to trust my first, like what first comes to me. I'm learning to trust the whisper. I'm learning to stop doubting what I'm hearing. It's something to learn. I'm not there yet. You know, it's like mediumship. I'm like, I don't even want to touch it. Like right now, I just feel myself shrinking because I don't feel confident in it. So of course, I'm going to take another course in it to practice even more. So this is what we have to do is we're going to have to release and own and lean and let spirit take us where it takes us, right? Good morning, good evening, whatever. And then the other thing we have to do is like confront the fact that we're not even letting our light shine outside of us. We're just not. It needs to shine all the way inside of us and all the way outside of us. Many of us are staying in the shadows. You know, isolation is just a temporary thing. You know, the wilderness is a temporary thing. Dry seasons are temporary things. Famine really is temporary things. Everything is cyclical. And some of us have gotten too comfortable in the dark. Some of us have gotten too comfortable in the shadows. Some of us have gotten too comfortable in the struggle, because being who we really are feels uncomfortable. And that's an interesting thing. It really is. But when you own who you really are, you'll never feel more aligned than you ever did in your whole entire life. Like, you'll never feel more aligned in that moment than you did in your whole entire life. I had to correct that. It's like, when I started doing the mediumship, that very first class, I left that class in awe. Not really of myself, but of the fact that I had been doing this my whole life and I didn't even know. You know, I was like, wait, this was a gift? Wait, everybody don't have this? Wait, there's a lot of us who have gifts though? Wait, I can have conversations with people? Wait, gifts look different? Wait, you know, and they all come up differently. And it's just, I've learned so much this year, not just politically, but spiritually as well. And learning to accept my own spirituality. So the shadow side of this is withdrawing from society. It's feeling like a misfit. And I'm going to tell you, I like being a misfit. I do. I really do actually like not fitting in. And that's weird coming from a woman who, as a girl, tried really hard to the point where the cool girl had a gap tooth in her gap teeth. So I would stick toothpicks in between my teeth trying to spread my teeth, but I had perfect teeth. I don't now, but I did then, you know, trying to fit in. But I love being a misfit. I love being different. I love being gifted. I love being insightful. It's a little frustrating being Cassandra, you know, from the Greek mythology. It's frustrating being the person who has been able to call the shenanigans since November, and people are just now coming around to going, hey, wait a second. Wait, when Elon said, oh my God, and here we are in December of the next year. But it's not because people didn't know. It's because people were afraid to be seen as crazy. Whereas I embraced my craziness this year, because not being crazy was making me crazy. To explain that, not being able to voice what I was thinking was driving me wild. So you really, okay. You really got to divorce yourself from who you're expected to be, but who you expected yourself to be. You've got to divorce yourself from trying to fit in and being accepted, being tolerated. Let's put it that way. Being tolerated. Because people who don't like you will never accept you. They might just tolerate you. People who are not part of your real community, they won't like you. They'll just tolerate you until you get too far, too fast, too famous, too confident, too anything, and then they have a problem. Case in point, when I was losing weight at one point, the weight that just kept finding me, but I had lost weight at this one point. I was on track. It was beautiful. I was on track. I had been doing it for like 6 months out of the year. I had a friend tell me, you need to stop. You're getting too skinny. I was not getting too skinny. I was still in the 200s, y'all. It was like, you need to stop. You're getting too skinny. But what the truth really was there was jealousy from her, because she had not been able to successfully continue her own weight journey, right? Because once you get put on one, you're on one for life, right? But I didn't recognize it as jealousy. I recognize it as a criticism for me. And what ended up happening, y'all, is that I self-sabotaged and ended up popping or spraining or whatever my Achilles tendon. And ever since then, guess what I can't do? I can't do the jumping that I was doing. I can't do any of the things that I was doing before because my Achilles tendon had got messed up. And then from that, I developed bone spurs. And then from that, you know, so it was just this snowball effect of me trying to be accepted by someone who was only going to tolerate me. You know what I mean? And so this is what you're being asked to do, is you're being asked to divorce yourself from the expectations, not only of others, but of who you expected yourself to be in order to fit in order to be accepted, in order to be loved, in order to feel productive. Because I don't know if y'all notice this, but a lot of us have been thrown off our game, period. You might have been like thebomb.com, the person people go to all the time, etc., 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 the strong one, blah, 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 blah. But in this next season, you can't be that. Not in the same house. You've outgrown it. Not in the same room, not in the same bed. You've outgrown it. You're being asked to elevate. That is why you have been awakened, or that is why your awakening journey has amplified, accelerated, gone further and faster than you have ever expected before. People are seeing shadows. People are seeing lights. People are hearing more. People are dreaming more. People are knowing more because they're allowing it in, but also because your spiritual self, your soul self is like, enough. We're taking too long. How long do you think you have? You only have this one life. If you don't learn it now, you're going to come back and do it again. I don't want to come back. I'm not trying to come back. So the other thing you need to be paying attention to in this new moon, not new moon, full moon, as you divorce yourself, as you let go and give into joy, give into success, expect better of your, not expect better. I was going to be wrong. Not expect more either. Expect goodness. I think we've had enough of the bad. Expect goodness. Expect this next thing that you have done to go well, if it's aligned. Okay? So this is about leaning into that success, leaning into the joy, leaning into your spirituality, letting go. Stop trying to be in control, all that jazz, right? Some food now becoming weird. Yes. Taste is changing. Textures, everything is changing. And this is asking you again to really let your own inner light shine. But in order to do that, you have to embrace who you really are. You have to embrace your misfitness. Okay? You have to embrace all of that. All right? And when I tell you, it's not that you have been, okay, you might have felt lonely, but that is because it's a perspective shift that needs to happen. You need to understand that this is not punishment for anything you may have done. This is not you being a black sheep. Your isolation was really for your own elevation. And if you continue to look at it as shame or look at it as pain, instead of looking up and seeing the light and the lessons that have been created from it, you're going to stay in a very stuck place. And you do not want to leave life stuck. Okay? And you'll keep having multiple opportunities, but life will get harder and harder in between. And that doesn't mean you won't be successful. It just means you won't be aligned. And that shit hurts. Okay? So you're being asked to divorce yourself from that, to stop embracing essentially what hurts you, right? To stop embracing these partnerships, these expectations, these contracts you signed from teenagehood, from birth, because they're not really part of your story. They weren't supposed to be part of your story, some of them. But because of the delay in your own path, the delay in your own acceptance, your story just expanded. You added another chapter, and that's okay, because that chapter gets to be used. Because remember, we will find the purpose in the pain. It's not that the pain was on purpose. Okay. But you're in the season of deciding what you want. Are you going to die decayed, meaning stagnant, meaning not growing? Or are you going to allow the death to be your rebirth? Are you going to allow your ending to be your beginning? The relationship is over. Okay, cool. What you gonna do about you? The job is over. Okay, cool. It served its time. What's next? And next doesn't also mean in the same arena or the same state or the same career. Because when we scale a mountain and we get to the top of the mountain, guess what happens? We either let it be a volcano that's going to erupt as we become displeased, or we scale down the mountain and go up the next one. Because it is not lonely at the top unless you're on a volcano. If you're at the top, it's time for you to climb a new mountain. It's time for you to be a student again. It's time for you to get into the next phase of your life. Imagine being a butterfly, but trying to fight to stay a caterpillar, trying to fight to stay the prey of several different predators, instead of being the thing that gets to pollinate and keep the world going. How do you block your own purpose trying to hold on to your past? Hold on to your look here. Listen, we got so many pentacles up in her. Pentacles and major arcana. That's all we got. So this is a major message for you guys here as we move into this full moon of Gemini. The reward is there. Community, family, people who share your values, you growing in your own gifts, you growing in your purpose, you becoming more of who you actually are than who other people wanted you to be. This is what's waiting for you if you embrace this journey of embracing yourself. You have got to start voicing what you actually want. This is a moon of communication. This is a moon of facing the truth. You have got to start speaking life into yourself. It is a requirement that you speak life into yourself, because if you can't do it, who else do you expect to do it, right? So this is also about spiritual abundance, not just financial abundance. Okay, so this has been a reading about your spirituality right now. As we move into full moon of Gemini, you are being asked to confront what you actually want. You're being asked to voice what you actually want. And you're being asked to go after it, because it's been trying to find you. You've just been saying, nah, I can't do that. Nah, I'll wait till the kids are older. Nah, I'm already in this career 20 years. I'll wait till I retire. Nah, I've never lived anywhere by myself. Nah. And you're being told that in this next season, your answer is yes. Yes to you. Other people can get a no, but you better say yes to you. You better say yes to the real of who you are. And if you don't know who that is, then that's your job. Start figuring out, what do you really want? If you have to start out with what you don't like, that's cool. Don't stop there. After you write the negative, you've got to start calling in the abundance of positive, because you will get abundance of negative if you stay there, because it will keep teaching you a lesson until you learn that you are done taking that damn test. Listen, you are asked to get out of your own mind and to stop self-sabotaging your life. You are being tasked with being honest and truthful with yourself, not just about your desires, but about who you actually are. You're being asked to embrace you, to get all the negativity out of your head, or at least put a muzzle on them if they can't go anywhere. You're being asked to step into this next phase of who you really are. You've been in the cocoon long enough. Don't let it become your coffin. Get your ass out of there and start flying. And that is your full moon energy reading. That is your full moon energy reading. No more trying to balance who you are with who you are supposed to be, that you're told you're supposed to be. You're over here trying to do this little juggle thing, but what ends up happening is the world gets more than you do. The world gets more of you than you do. The world gets more of you than your soul does. I can't do this right now. I have to do this first. I can't spend time by myself. I got to spend time with these people first. You keep trying to do a juggling act that you have been failing at. And let me tell you again, this is another damn pentacle. You have got to be pouring more into you. It's time to stop trying to balance, and it's time to be imbalanced. It's time to say, me first. And not just me first, but me first, who I am first. And that's your task. If you don't know who that is, you are going to be spending this next season finding that out. And it is better for you to be proactive than to have to be reactive, than to have things stripped away from you, as I just went through for the last 4 years. Instead of having things stripped away from you till all that's left is just your essence and you have to rebuild, you can choose to do it yourself. You can be proactive. You can really go, what do I really need? Do I really need all this? What do I really want? Do I really want that? Or am I still trying to fill a checklist? What do I really want? And a lot of times the things that you're going to want are going to be intangible. You're going to want security. You're going to want peace. You're going to want stability, safety. You're going to want joy. You're going to want new experiences. You're going to want whatever these things you want. Be honest about the intangibles, and then you can build out into what that looks like manifested. What does that look like in a material sense as well as in a spiritual sense? But everything about this has been about your values, your spirituality, and all of that really does affect your income, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Because I've had a lot of people asking, when will my income change? When you do. Not when you get another degree. Not when you get a different job. Your income will change when you do. When you fully embrace who you are and what you want to do. If it is creative, if it is artistry, guess what? There are people who are making living careers doing that. There are. You can stop telling yourself the story of the starving artist, and you can instead tell yourself the story of the sought after artist. Nobody knows what Banksy even looks like, but his paintings pull because they have a message and they have a purpose. What's yours? That's what you need to figure out. I'm in groups of writers who have real income from their books. If you don't believe me, go on Meta just for this group. If you don't want to do it for anything else, look up 20 books to 50K and then just read the stories. There are so many people, autistic, handicapped, white, black, mother, single, cat lady, all different types of people. And several of them are making 6 figures or better with their writing. And some of them with 3 books or 2 books, because it's about purpose, passion, and then the effect that you leave on the world. That's what it's about. So I have a reading. So I'm going to get to my reading. You guys are free to book a reading. You can find that on my profile. But I want you to understand that this is literally what this is the only card that was, only suit that was different. And this is the one that's telling you, stop being your own worst enemy. Stop backstabbing. Stop self-sabotaging. This is the only card that was different, because we had the Sun, we had the Hermit, we had the Lovers, we had Death or Rebirth. So we have 4 major arcana. And then we had Pentacle, 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 Pentacle. 4 pentacles. These are your spirituality. This is your value. This is your passion. This is your purpose. This is all of that. And this one, which told you, stop self-sabotaging. Get the F out of your way. What's the difference? You tell me. This was the beginning, and this is the ending. You tell me. All right. I have a call. I will see y'all in a little bit, and we'll read on some other things. But that was your full moon reading in Gemini for December 2025. See y'all soon. Bye.